Salam students, welcome. Today let us do revision of political science. Lesson number 1, Understanding Diversity. Children, today we shall revise about what is diversity, making friends, what does diversity add to our lives, and about diversity in India. Now let us begin with the revision. Children, do you remember we had learned that people are different from each other in many ways. Not only do they look different, but they might also belong to different regional, cultural or religious backgrounds. That means they live in different regions, they follow different cultures and religions. So everyone is different from each other in many ways. And these differences, they enrich our lives in many ways and also make them more fun. And all these different people who come from all kinds of backgrounds and belong to all kinds of religions and cultures help to make India so interesting and so diverse. So, what does diversity mean? Diversity means the wide variety of something. If we take an example of drawing, suppose your art teacher asks you to draw human figures. So you can see 3 children, they have drawn human figures. And if you also draw one human figure and see, so are all the drawings going to be same? No, isn't it? Your drawing will be quite different from the other 3 drawings. So this shows that each one of us has a unique drawing style, and we not only don't look exactly like each other, but also we differ in terms of the language we speak, our cultural backgrounds, the religious rituals, the way we draw, etc. And children, you can also recognize that there are many ways in which you are quite same like some of your classmates and the ways in which you are different from them. Now let us revise about making friends. The story of Samir Ek and Samir Do. Children, do you remember this is a story of a small ragged boy who sold newspapers at the Janpat crossing at the busy intersection. And every day one boy, he used to come on his bicycle, and the newspaper boy, he would run after him holding out the English paper and screaming out the evening's headlines in a mixture of Hindi and English words. So one day the boy who was riding the bicycle, he stopped and asked him to give the Hindi paper. But the boy who was selling the newspaper, he was surprised. He had thought that the boy who was sitting on the cycle, he looked like a foreigner, and so he could not know Hindi. And in this way, every day they started communicating with each other. One day, the boy who was selling the newspaper, he told that his name was Samir. And the boy who was sitting on the bicycle, he was surprised and said that his name was also Samir and that it's another name for Hanuman's father. So the boy who was riding the bicycle was called Samir Ek, and the boy who sold the newspaper, he was called Samir Do. And one day Samir Do, he was tensed because riots had broken out in Meerut where his family lived. And Samir Do, he said that he is a Muslim, and from that day onwards he was never seen at the crossing. Samir Ek, he used to look for Samir Do, but he never saw him again. So this shows that they belonged to different religions and different cultures, but still they communicated with each other. So now let us see what more differences they had between them. Now let us see how these boys are different from each other. That is, Samir Ek, he knows to speak English and Hindi, whereas Samir Do, he knows to speak only Hindi. And Samir Ek, he is a Hindu, whereas Samir Do is a Muslim. Samir Ek, he is rich, Whereas Samir though he is poor. And Samir Ek, he goes to school. But Samir though he does not go to school. So children, according to the story of Samir Ek and Samir Do, although they speak in different languages, still they communicated with each other. They made the effort to do so because this was what was important to them. So different religious and cultural backgrounds such as these are an aspect of diversity. Thus Samir Ek and Samir Do have many differences, and these differences are the reason of inequality. What is inequality? Inequality, it comes about when a person does not have the resources and opportunities that are available to other persons. That means Samir Ek, he was rich and he could afford to go to the school, whereas Samir Do, he was poor, and if he wanted also to go to school, but he did not have any resources and opportunities to attend the school. So what is inequality? Inequality, it comes about when a person does not have the resources and opportunities that are available to other persons. So what is this caste system? This caste system is another example of inequality. According to this, the society, it is divided into different groups depending upon the work that people did, and they were supposed to remain in these groups. Children, here we can take an example of a potter. That means the person who makes pots. So if parents were the potters, then the child, he could only become a potter and nothing else. So this system, it was considered as irreversible. That means the child, he was not supposed to change his profession, and it was not considered necessary for him to know anything more than what was needed in his profession, and this created a situation of inequality. Now let us revise the next topic, that is, what does diversity add to our lives? Children, you might have friends who are very different from you, and you have probably eaten different kinds of food in their homes, celebrated different festivals with them, tried out the clothes they wear, and learned some of their languages. So this shows that the rich heritage of diversity in India, it enriches our lives in many ways. We learn many things from each other and share our experiences. We celebrate different festivals together and learn different languages, cultures, etc. And a sense of friendship and unity develops, which brings harmony and prosperity among us. And children, you probably like reading and hearing stories and the adventures about different animals, people, and even ghosts. And you even enjoy making stories on your own. So many young people feel happy when they read a good story because it gives them lots of ideas to make up more stories. And the people who write stories, from where do they get ideas? They get their ideas from all sorts of different places. That is, from books and real life and from their imagination. Children, some people, they may have lived in the forest, that is close to the animals, so they choose to write of their fights and friendships. Others, they read the real accounts of the kings and the queens, and they write stories about their love and honor. And some like to write about their own childhood memories of school and friends, and some they like to write the stories of adventure. So by the example of the storytellers or the writers, which point do they give us? They give us the point that due to people that lived in different places, that means they observed different society and culture. Thus they were able to write different types of stories. Children, imagine if all the storytellers and the writers, they were forced to live in same environment and same society and were given same type of upbringing, then they couldn't have been so different at all, and they may have wrote similar stories. Thus, due to the diversity, we have so many options in our life. Now let us revise about diversity in India. Children, you know that India is a country of many diversities. That means we speak different languages, have various types of food, celebrate different festivals, practice different religions. But actually, we do many things that are similar, except that we do them in different ways. Here we can see some examples, that is different ways in which people pray, that is through singing a hymn, and different ways in which people get married, that is through signing a register in the court, and different ways in which people dress, that is in Manipur, women they wear a fennec, and different ways in which people greet each other, that is in Jharkhand, many Adivasis they say Johar to greet each other, and different ways in which people cook rice, that is by making biryani with meat or vegetables. So here we can see the different ways in which people in India do the following things. Now children, let us have a quiz. Tick the correct options. First one, Samir's mother lived in dash. A. Jaipur, B. Mumbai, C. Meerut, D. Kerala. What is the correct option, children? Yes, C. Meerut. Samir's mother lived in Meerut. Second one, each one of us has a dash drawing style. A. Same, B. Different, C. Unique, D. Familiar. What is the correct option, children? Yes, C. Unique. Each one of us has a unique drawing style. Now, third one. Dash was considered irreversible. A. The caste system, B. Inequality, C. Diversity, D. Equality. What is the correct option, children? Yes, A. The caste system. The caste system was considered irreversible. Children, we have completed the revision of the first part of this lesson. We shall continue with the revision of this lesson in our next class. Till we meet again, goodbye children.